At Marist, we have one open house. In the spring, it's the open house for accepted students. It's one of the most important days, or I should say the weekend, one of the more important weekends that we have at the school, and it's really all hands on deck. How many people here in the admissions office has to present the open house program to the President's Cabinet? All right, so we got another one in there. This is something that it's very, very important, and it's really all hands on decks from the President's Cabinet to the deans, to the faculty, to all staff members. We want to welcome these students into the Marist College community. Typically, the program will run from 11 to 4 o'clock, in which one of the more popular things to do is to take a tour. So we have tours running in the morning, but we also have them running during the afternoon. The President and his cabinet will welcome the students, and they're going to immediately go on to the academic presentations. We see that blend works for us. Out of our open house program, 70% of the students enroll. But we also take the time, since it starts at 11 o'clock, to target special groups. So our presidential scholars, we're hosting those students at 9:30. We have an honors presentation. We have a brunch for those students. And one of the changes that we actually made is we wanted to, once again, personalize the process. So in the brunch setting, it was pretty much similar to here. You have your tables. People were confined with the tables. Now we have an honors reception, which is more informal, a lot easier to engage in conversation. And we've seen a 10% increase in deposits for students under that program. You certainly want to pull out all the stops. If you take a look at the forecast, it's raining. We have Marist brand umbrellas that are ready for the families when they're going to take their tour. And of course, you want to feed the group. But you want to give them something very good to remember as well, too. You don't have to break out the china, but you want to make sure that they are being fed well, because it is a long day for them as well, too.
We're small. Again, it's the contrast in size. So we're feeding them, but we're doing a sit-down buffet. So they're going through the program in the morning. They're meeting with the faculty. They're meeting with athletics. We'll have the students. We'll have a special presentation, student life panel, a special honors presentation. We'll have the folks from the finance department there, so people can go in and learn how they're going to make it affordable. And then we'll close the day kind of with the grand talk. We call it the welcome reception, but they've been there for a couple hours before they sit down. But then it's a sit-down lunch. So grab your food, sit down. The faculty will mingle in, mix out. The coaches will mingle in. And we find that's very important. Again, it's about making that connection with folks when they come to your campus. We've also discovered that not everybody's good talking to families. So you might have to do some coaching and some training. As admissions people, because we talk to people all day long, 365, we think everybody can do it. Well, quite honestly, I was kind of amazed to find out that basically nobody else on campus could actually do that on any given day. So it's telling the expectations, particularly to the academic side of the house. Okay, this is what we want you to do. We don't want you to clump together with all your PhDs. We want you to spread out around the room. The students in the activities, coach them up too. Particularly we found our clubs and activities, we're spoiled because the people that work at admissions are the best of the best of the best. Well, then you have the other kids on campus. Well, they might not necessarily know what to do and when to do it, or what the expectations. So, like Lou said, they're presenting to the President's Cabinet. I find that we're going around and we have these kind of layers. So I'll talk to the executive team. I'll have some of my mid-level managers talk to mid-level managers in other departments. We'll get the students together so everybody's kind of getting on the same page for that day. Because when you think about it, accepted student day, and we do ours in late April, mid to late April as well. It's a last chance to kick the tires and look under the hood. These are people, it's buying time. You want them to buy today and not put it on the layaway plan. So you want to make sure they have everything there at their disposal. If you got to pay somebody off to arrange good weather, do it. I think things like this, particularly for a small school like mine, are really critical. It can be a make or break type of environment.
Now, Jay, you mentioned that at the end of the day you have a speech. How many do you get in attendance for that? Do you lose a lot of people, or? Is it pretty much the same
we
attendance?
do see, that's interesting you should put that, because a lot of families, I know you see, and there's nothing you can do about it, there are families that either are unhappy or, more often than not, are trying to go to multiple accepted student days on the same day.
Yep.
So, but ours is short. Although Lou's going 11 to 4, we're going 10 to 1:30. So we try to, in the back of our minds, knowing that, we're not necessarily always going to be where they want to be on this day. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them for us to best showcase everything we want them to see in a quick amount of time. So kind of like that, think of going to the movie theater and they have all that stuff that goes on in the beginning. Try to get it in as quickly as possible. Get the message across as personalized as fun. So we usually have a group of anywhere between 250 to 300 people will be there on any given day. And we do a tent, we do it outside on the lawn, make it very spring and festive.
Yeah, that's interesting because we typically see the majority of our families and students from 11 o'clock to about once the first academic presentation is done. So I would say to about 2 o'clock. And then people are scattering, especially for those students who did the honors presentations. They had a long day. They started their day at 8:30. So that's some interesting information.
And don't be afraid to do the special presentations that are kind of out of the box. We have a very large criminal justice program, and the head of the program brings in and does kind of like a crime scene. So he has kind of like a CSI thing going down in that day, and we find that the family's really kind of into it because it's something different. They're used to showing up and getting chalk talk. Avoid chalk talk at all points, all right? Try to make it as engaging, as interactive as possible. One of the things we both do is we get the mascot out there. Get the mascot, get pictures with the families, get them walking around, get people high-fiving, because you're trying to get in that positive buzz excitement. If anything, even if you don't get a family to enroll because they came to campus, you're really, when you think about it, you're trying to get the future student. You want that family to leave there and go, I don't think this is going to be the school for us, but that was the best darn visit I ever went to, and I'm going to tell everybody I know that this place has their stuff together.
Very good point.